Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of ShowMeFootball.com, and today we got a little bit of news to talk about. A player has just been released that I think the Kansas City Chiefs should absolutely target, and that is Detroit Lions linebacker Jamie Collins. Of course, the Chiefs signed wide receiver Josh Gordon yesterday to their practice squad, and everyone was saying, where's the defense? I mean, Josh Gordon's great and all, but this team needs help on defense. Well, this could help you on defense. Absolutely. Jamie Collins, he's on the open market now. There were rumors that the Lions were looking to trade him, or it wasn't even a rumor. I mean, they were looking to trade him. They told him not to show up to the facility. You might as well just kick back and wait for us to find a new home for you. Couldn't get a deal done because I think most teams probably knew that at that point, if the Lions didn't find him a trade partner, they were going to have to release him. That's just usually how these situations go. So the Chiefs, they don't even have to give up an asset now if they really want Jamie Collins. All they would have to do is bring him in for essentially the veteran minimum. The Chiefs should be interested in Jamie Collins for a lot of reasons, and there were actually off seasons in the past where I thought Jamie Collins was an option the Chiefs could look at for linebacker depth. But if we're being completely honest, Jamie Collins is a player that, outside of Bill Belichick's defense in New England, he hasn't been all that great. He was good for the Patriots for a long time. Then he was a free agent, got the bag from the Cleveland Browns, wasn't great there. Browns release him. He goes back to the Patriots, I believe it was. Then, after having another good season with the Patriots, signed with the Lions. Now the Lions are letting him go. Also, mostly due to the emergence of other linebackers on that team, too. There just wasn't room for Jamie Collins anymore. That being said, Jamie Collins could absolutely still contribute to, let's be honest, a really bad Chiefs linebacker unit. Of course, they're getting Willie Gay back, so that should help boost some things. But, Willie Gay is not the fix-everything guy. You can't expect Willie Gay to be the answer to everything. He's not the answer to all their defensive problems. He's going to help that linebacker unit, and he has a skill set that none of the other Chiefs linebackers have. So you'd just be adding depth by getting Jamie Collins, which is not bad at all. Jamie Collins, though, he's about to be 32 years old in October, and he's on the backside of his career. He is not the athlete that he once was, but I think he's a better athlete than Ben Niemann still. I think he can take snaps away from Ben Niemann. Jamie Collins' coverage ability has fallen off, really, the past couple seasons, but in 2019, and again, this is with Bill Belichick's system, he was one of the better coverage linebackers in the league and actually had, I believe, 3 or 4 interceptions, which is really good for a linebacker. But if Jamie Collins were to come to Kansas City, I don't think he's someone that you'll see necessarily thrive in coverage. He might be a step up from some of the other Chiefs linebackers, but that's not saying a whole lot. Really, what I think the ideal role for Jamie Collins would be was a linebacker that can be in the middle and can stop the run a little bit and can kind of play that 2019 Reggie Ragland role. At 6'3", 250, he almost has the build of like a defensive end, a smaller defensive end in a Steve Spagnuolo scheme. So really, Jamie Collins is a guy who can come in and help stuff the run, an area where the Chiefs have struggled mightily to begin the season. In fact, the whole defensive end moniker with Jamie Collins actually isn't too far off because Matt Lane over at KC Sports Network actually tweeted this in regards to Collins the other day. He said, Jamie Collins lined up on the line of scrimmage 592 times between 2018 and 2019. He only had 333 pass rush reps during those 2 years, but had 12 sacks and 48 pressures. He also adds, on 77 pass rush reps in 2020, he had 11 pressures. I think there's enough there that you could bring in Jamie Collins, and he may be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We know this team struggles to get to the quarterback. If you're lining up Jamie Collins on the edge to rush the passer a little bit, he could actually give you some production there, I think. And then on top of that, like we talked about, he can come in that kind of Reggie Ragland 2019 Super Bowl season role and stuff the run. I don't think Collins is really a viable coverage option anymore, but one thing that I will give to him is that he might be in coverage a lot more just because the other Chiefs linebackers aren't good in coverage. They're just that bad that, he might be the better option. Ben Niemann, not good in coverage. Nick Bolton, hasn't been good in coverage. And look, I love Nick Bolton. And you know what? Signing Jamie Collins, that's another aspect that would help this defense, I think. I've seen Nick Bolton catch a lot of flack on Twitter and whatnot for his performance thus far. He's done well downhill, stopping the run a few times. He's been one of the Chiefs' better run-stopping linebackers. But, he's still learning. He gets washed out on some run plays, and sometimes I think the game still needs to slow down for him. But he's been one of the team's more solid tacklers, too. Overall, Nick Bolton, he's been up and down. I've seen him catch a lot of flack on Twitter, though. But what I have to say to that is we're holding a second-round rookie linebacker and his performance under the microscope because of the fact that this defense needs contributions so bad. But that's not fair to Nick Bolton. Like, you're asking him to be, this team's best linebacker while Willie Gay is out? And he's a rookie, and linebacker is one of the hardest positions to learn once you get in the NFL. The game is a lot different from college, so just give Nick Bolton time. He hasn't been the best right now, and I can admit that, even as a Missouri fan. But it's not fair to him what you guys are saying. So Jamie Collins, bringing him in to kind of show him the ropes a little bit and eat some of those snaps where he's stopping the run and doing a couple other things. I think that's worth signing Jamie Collins. I really think so. This is a great opportunity to go and get someone to help out this defense that has not been great. They needed help. After the Josh Gordon signing yesterday, everyone was saying, okay, cool, now go get some defense. So here's your opportunity, Brett Veach. Go get some defense. If he go out and he signs Jamie Collins, I will, again, applaud him for at least going out and trying, eyeing a weakness that should have been fixed already. I'll criticize him a little bit there. Like, this is stuff that we've invested in linebacker, and it still continues to be a need. But you have a chance to go patch up the hole, so go do it, and I'll give him credit for it if he does. There's not really any downside, in my opinion. This is pretty much a no-brainer move. He would be in the thick of the Chiefs' linebacker rotation rather quickly, so yeah, I'll ask you guys, though, what are your thoughts on potentially bringing in Jamie Collins, and do you think he could contribute on the Kansas City Chiefs? All that being said, though, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this, and make sure you check out some of my work on showmefootball.com as well as kckingdom.com. I'll see y'all later.